Imagine discovering your two teenage sons are wanted for murder. Tiffany never saw it coming. The knock on her door changed everything. Police were searching for Tyler and Eli Chaffin in connection with a brutal killing. As a mother, she thought she knew her children. But the evidence told a different story of violence and lies so shocking it would tear their family apart forever. This is how one mother's worst nightmare became reality. The Chaffin family appeared ordinary from the outside. Tiffany was a devoted mother raising her two sons, Tyler and Eli, in New Mexico. Like any parent, she had dreams for her boys' futures. Tyler, the older brother, was protective of his younger sibling Eli. They shared the typical bond of brothers growing up together. Neighbors saw nothing alarming. Friends noticed nothing unusual. The family seemed to navigate life's challenges like everyone else. But beneath this facade of normalcy, something dark was brewing. Something that would soon explode into violence and shatter everything Tiffany believed about her sons. William Johnson was a man trying to make his way in life. He lived in the same New Mexico community as the Chaffin family. William had his own struggles, his own story, his own loved ones who cared about him. He had no idea that his path would cross with Tyler and Eli Chaffin in the most tragic way imaginable. On what seemed like an ordinary day, William's life would be cut short. His family would soon be mourning an unimaginable loss. The circumstances surrounding his death would send shockwaves through the community and leave investigators scrambling for answers. The details of what happened are chilling. William Johnson was murdered in a violent confrontation that would later be described as brutal and senseless. The crime scene told a story of aggression and intent. Evidence pointed to multiple perpetrators working together. Investigators found signs of a planned attack rather than a random act of violence. The location, the method, and the circumstances all painted a disturbing picture. As detectives pieced together the timeline, they began to identify suspects. Two young men had been seen in the area. Their names would soon become central to the investigation: Tyler and Eli Chaffin. Law enforcement moved quickly once William Johnson's body was discovered. Detectives canvassed the neighborhood, interviewed witnesses, and collected forensic evidence. Tips started coming in from people who had seen suspicious activity. Security footage captured images that would prove crucial to the case. As investigators dug deeper, a pattern emerged. The evidence increasingly pointed toward two teenage brothers. Their names came up repeatedly in witness statements. Physical evidence linked them to the crime scene. Police knew they had to act fast. Tyler and Eli Chaffin were now the primary suspects, and authorities needed to locate them before they could flee or harm anyone else. An urgent manhunt was launched for Tyler and Eli Chaffin. Police issued alerts across New Mexico and neighboring states. The brothers' photographs were circulated to law enforcement agencies and media outlets. Authorities warned the public that the suspects should be considered dangerous. Days passed with no sign of the teenage fugitives. Where were they hiding? Did they have help? Were they still in the area or had they fled across state lines? Every lead was pursued. Every tip was investigated. The pressure mounted as the community demanded answers. Meanwhile, somewhere out there, Tyler and Eli were on the run, knowing what they had done. When police arrived at Tiffany's door, her world shattered instantly. Officers informed her that her sons were wanted for murder. The words didn't seem real. Murder? Her boys? There had to be some mistake. Tiffany's mind raced through memories, searching for signs she might have missed. Had there been warning signals? Were there moments she overlooked? The mother who thought she knew her children now questioned everything. Police asked if she knew where Tyler and Eli might be hiding. Did she have any information that could help? Tiffany was thrust into an impossible position, torn between her love for her sons and the horrifying reality of what they were accused of doing. In the immediate aftermath, Tiffany struggled to accept the truth. Denial is a powerful defense mechanism when facing unbearable reality. She told herself there must be an explanation, a misunderstanding, something that would make sense of this nightmare. Maybe her boys were innocent, wrongly accused, victims of circumstance. These were her children, the babies she had held, the boys she had raised. How could they be capable of murder? But as more details emerged, as evidence mounted, denial became harder to maintain. The facts were undeniable. The evidence was overwhelming. Her sons had committed an unspeakable act, and Tiffany had to face that devastating truth. Tyler and Eli Chaffin's time on the run eventually came to an end. Law enforcement tracked them down through a combination of investigative work and tips from the public. When officers moved in to make the arrest, the brothers surrendered without incident. They were taken into custody and transported to face charges for William Johnson's murder. The community breathed a collective sigh of relief that the dangerous suspects were off the streets. But for Tiffany, seeing her sons in handcuffs was a moment of profound anguish. The reality she had tried to deny was now inescapable. Her teenage sons were accused killers, and their lives would never be the same. As the case moved forward, prosecutors built a damning case against Tyler and Eli. Forensic evidence placed them at the crime scene. Witness testimony corroborated their presence during the time of the murder. Physical evidence linked them directly to William Johnson's death. Digital records, including phone data and social media activity, painted a troubling picture of the brothers' movements and mindset. The prosecution's case grew stronger with each piece of evidence collected. Defense attorneys would face an uphill battle. For Tiffany, watching the evidence unfold was torture. Each revelation made it harder to hold on to any hope that her sons might somehow be innocent of this terrible crime. The legal proceedings brought everything into sharp focus. Tyler and Eli Chaffin sat in court facing murder charges that could result in lengthy prison sentences. Prosecutors presented their case methodically, laying out the timeline of events and the evidence against the brothers. William Johnson's family sat in the courtroom, seeking justice for their loved one. Their pain was palpable, their loss immeasurable. Tiffany attended the hearings, a mother caught between grief for the victim and love for her sons. The courtroom became a place where two families' tragedies collided. One family mourned a murdered loved one. Another family watched their sons face the consequences of taking a life. Rather than go to trial, Tyler and Eli Chaffin made the decision to accept plea deals. This meant admitting guilt to reduce charges in exchange for lighter sentences than they might receive if convicted at trial. The plea agreement spared everyone from a lengthy trial but brought little comfort to William Johnson's grieving family. They felt the sentences were too lenient for such a violent crime. For Tiffany, the plea deals were a mixed blessing. Her sons would avoid maximum sentences but would still spend years behind bars. The guilty pleas meant there was no more denying what happened. Tyler and Eli had admitted to their role in William Johnson's death. When sentencing day arrived, the courtroom was packed with people whose lives had been forever changed by this crime. The judge considered the evidence, the circumstances, and the impact on everyone involved. Tyler and Eli Chaffin learned their fate, significant prison time that would consume their young adult years. William Johnson's family gave victim impact statements, describing the hole left in their lives by his murder. Tiffany had to watch her sons be led away in shackles, knowing they would spend years incarcerated. The sentences marked the end of one chapter but the beginning of a lifetime of consequences. For everyone involved, nothing would ever be the same again. The case left deep scars on the community. Neighbors struggled to understand how two teenage boys could commit such violence. Parents looked at their own children differently, wondering what signs they might be missing. The victim's family worked to keep William Johnson's memory alive while coping with their grief. Some community members felt the justice system had failed by offering plea deals. Others recognized the complexity of sentencing young offenders. Conversations about youth violence, parenting, and accountability echoed through the town. The Chaffin case became a cautionary tale, a reminder that evil can emerge from unexpected places, even from seemingly ordinary families living next door. Tiffany now carries a burden few mothers can imagine. She loves her sons but must accept what they did. She grieves for William Johnson and his family while mourning the loss of the boys she thought she knew. Every day brings questions without answers. Could she have prevented this? Were there signs she missed? What kind of mother raises children capable of murder? The guilt is crushing, even though she didn't commit the crime. She faces judgment from others who blame her parenting. She endures sleepless nights replaying memories, searching for the moment things went wrong. Tiffany's life has become a prison of its own, built from grief, guilt, and the unbearable weight of loving sons who killed. Years will pass with Tyler and Eli Chaffin behind bars. They will grow from teenagers into adults in prison, serving time for taking a life. William Johnson's family continues living with their loss, a permanent void where their loved one should be. Tiffany remains caught between two realities, the mother who loves her sons and the woman who must accept they committed murder. This case reminds us that families can harbor dark secrets, that violence can erupt without warning, and that one terrible act creates ripples of pain affecting countless lives. The question that haunts everyone is simple yet unanswerable: how did two teenage brothers become killers? Some questions have no satisfying answers. Subscribe for more true crime stories about digital evidence. Thanks for watching.